Hey everybody, ThrewRedButter's here, back again with another beer review, back again with another Treehouse Brewing beer out of many locations in Massachusetts, Munson, Charlton, Tewksbury, Boston, Saratoga, New York, and the farm in Connecticut. I do that every time. Coming at you with a very special beer. They're all special. Part of their series of barrel-aged stouts called Truth. Truth being a bourbon barrel-aged stout, which is going to be part of the whole Truth series is going to be a part of a series of reviews. What they did was they did a huge project earlier this year, aged a imperial stout in bourbon barrels. They were a blend of bourbon barrel-aged stouts, anywhere from like 18 to 22 or 24 months old. Blended them together. That's how you get the base beer, the Truth, and then they did a bunch of variations that I got my hands on. Not all of them, but plenty, so I'm satisfied. Tonight, even though it looks like it's day, tonight we're coming at you with the Maple Cinnamon French Toast version. The Imperial Stout, barrel-aged, brewed with maple syrup and cinnamon, 13.5%. Alcohol by volume. It is the Treehouse Brewing Maple Cinnamon French Toast Truth. Red label, red wax. As you can see, there's a lot more to the story on the back. Can't read it, so I ain't gonna do it. Not that I literally can't read. It's just so small. But maple syrup and cinnamon, two things I love in imperial stout. So let's see what we got going on here. All right. Alright. It's pouring out like motor oil. Thick and black. Look at that. Pretty much no carbonation coming out. I got aggressive, so there's some bubbles pinging off the side of the glass, but not actual carbonation itself. Alright, so the appearance on the Maple Cinnamon French Toast Truth. Again, pitch black coming out, pitch black sitting. Not even any dark brown or ruby red on the edges or on the bottom. It is just a void. As you can see, barely any head, less than half a finger. What is there is a ring around the glass, but it's dark brown. Excuse me. Whew. Let's get Aroma on Maple Cinnamon French Toast Truth. That is a mouthful. Like I'm getting with most of the beers in the Truth series, big dark chocolate syrup notes. That's the biggest decadent flavor I'm getting right off the bat. Tinge of cinnamon. I can smell the sweetness from the maple syrup, but not the maple syrup itself, if that makes any sense. More dark chocolate. Vanilla from the barrel. A little bit of coffee. Like, I will say, I'm not getting big bourbon on it, and not a lot of barrel character from the nose, aside from those coffee and vanilla notes. I have found with these variants, the sweeter they are, the more likely they are to mask the actual bourbon and bourbon barrel aging itself. But we'll see what happens on the taste. So let's get a taste on the Treehouse Maple Cinnamon French Toast Truth. Cheers, everybody. This is awkward. Why am I doing this? You look weird. A lot of cinnamon, which I love. Love cinnamon in my stouts. Huge cinnamon up front. That's the first thing I notice. A lot more maple this time around. Very, very sappy, I will say. Yeah, very, very tree sap on the taste. It's not like, artificial, sugary, Aunt Jemima's or whatever you get from the grocery store maple syrup, but this is like authentic maple. Yeah, and I gotta say, not toot my horn, but I think I was right on from the aroma and from the other beers in the series. Like, the bourbon is there, and the barrel characters are there. But they're so subtle. They are so subtle. Maybe some wood and oak here and there, and like little touches of tobacco and char. Like, very, very faint. Very faint. And again, tree sap. I don't know, the cinnamon's kind of fading the more I get into it. Yeah, it is. And it's not like that cinnamon sugar sweetness. It's just more like pure ground cinnamon. I don't know what to say about this one. Yeah, again, I think the adjuncts are just masking the base bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, which I found amazing just by itself. I'm really not sure that these variants are really taking the beer to another level. I mean, I would just prefer a straight up bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, like standard truth. Still, the body is, just like all the others in the series, body is full, thick, viscous, coats the tongue on each sip, just clings to the palate at every conceivable level. So, definitely feels like a big barrel-aged 13.5% Imperial Stout. Also saying that, 13.5%, no booze, no alcohol, no warming at all. Yeah, I don't know. So, as for a final score, final verdict, final rating on the Treehouse Brewing Maple Cinnamon French Toast True 13.5% Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout with cinnamon and maple syrup. Yeah. I'm a little disappointed. As a Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout, not a lot of barrel character, a lot of bourbon. Again, it's being masked by all these sweet adjuncts, and as for those themselves, you would hope maybe they would show up in a huge way to make up for that lack of barrel character, but not really happening here. Except for, again, tree sap and ground cinnamon, but that's... and those faint coffee, vanilla char notes, and... a little sweet, but not too much. Yeah, whatever. It does not live up to any hype. Does not that I went in this with a lot of hype, so I didn't really build up in my head as being, an end-all, be-all, amazing beer. I just know from the brewery itself and past bourbon barrel light stouts they've done, and even just standard truth in the series, I know it can be better. I just don't think the maple and the cinnamon added anything. In fact, it took away from the base beer. So I'll go... yeah, like a 7.7 out of 10. Whatever. Had its moments, but... yeah, not that good. 7.7 out of 10. Treehouse Brewing Maple Cinnamon French Toast Truth Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. That's gonna do it for me, Through Red Butter. Till next time. Cheers, everybody.